Hey guys, how's it going? It is Mr. Crayfish and welcome back to Vehicle Wednesday. Yeah, it's not a Wednesday again. What has it been, like Vehicle Thursday, Vehicle Friday, Vehicle Saturday? It's really not Vehicle Wednesday anymore, but I'm going to be doing my best real soon to improve that. But today we have something super exciting to show off, because we've got some amazing progress done on the fuel system, and that is why you haven't seen a Vehicle Wednesday in almost 2 weeks now. Quick intermission. If you guys would love to see the development of my furniture mod and vehicle mod, I'm actually now streaming on Twitch, so go follow me. I'll put the link in the description below, and I hope to see you there. Now back to the video, because I've been working on this fuel system like crazy, and today we're going to be showing off the kind of partial process on how to create fuel, but probably what is the most exciting thing we're going to be showing off today is how you refuel vehicles now, and you're going to want to see it because there's something a little bit disturbing in my vehicle mod now. Alrighty, so let's go ahead, let's head into my garage right now, and let's take a look at this brand new. We're gonna start off by looking at the brand new way to fuel up the vehicles. Then afterwards, I'm gonna show you guys how you can kind of create the fuel. It's not finished yet, but I'm gonna show you guys kind of the process so far on how to create it. So we got my ATV over here. We're actually gonna switch into game mode S here, and you'll see that if we hop on this ATV, we have no fuel at all, and we've actually got to fill this thing up. So let's head over here, and inside this chest, which is just below the brand new photo frame for my furniture mod. If you guys haven't checked that out, I'll put a link in the description for my furniture mod. Definitely go update it, because it's an awesome mod. Actually, I'll put a link to that video, so go check it out where I showcase it off. But inside here, we've actually got the jerry cans, and we've got the brand new industrial jerry can. So it's basically an upgrade to the red jerry can here. It actually holds more fuel inside of it. So previously, to fuel up the vehicle, all you had to do was simply just right click the vehicle and it would fill it up with fuel. However, now you actually have to be a little bit more accurate. So if you actually take a closer look at the ATV here, you'll see that we've actually got a fuel port on the ATV here, and you've probably already guessed it. You put 2 and 2 together. We now have to actually right click looking at the fuel port, and not only that, you guys are going to love this. You guys are going to absolutely love this. If we go ahead and we start filling this thing up here, so we're gonna look at it, and then we just simply right click. Hold on, let me turn up the sounds. Let me turn up the sounds. Did you guys hear that? And did you guys see that as well? So when you're actually refueling, the lid of the cap here will actually come off. It will also play like a nice bubble sound. I'm not sure why that didn't actually play a lot. I think it's something to do with players or something like that. We might turn that one up as well in a second here. Let's try that again. Oh, wow, that's loud. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's do that again, and let's do it with the industrial one now. And hopefully it's a little bit louder. How cool is that? And I want to give a big thanks to someone known in the community as Phylogeny, because believe it or not, I didn't actually implement this in. Somebody, a generous person from the community, actually implemented this and submitted it to my code base. So thank you so much, Phylogeny. I'll put his Twitter in the description below. Maybe you guys want to go follow him, give him a thanks for adding this really awesome feature to the vehicle mod. So this is just the ATV. Let's go ahead, let's take a look at some of the other vehicles and their fuel ports, because obviously different vehicles have different fuel ports, and maybe we could start off with something that is a little disturbing. Alright? This is disturbing. Alright, if you find this next part disturbing, make sure you guys go ahead and snap that like button right in half, and as well subscribe, turn on your bell notifications so you get notified when I post Vehicle Wednesday, or Vehicle Saturday as it's called now. So you might be wondering, where is the fuel port on this dune buggy? Well, uh-oh. Uh-oh. So the fuel port is at the back here, but it gets... let me just go into creative mode here real quickly. I just want to break this so we can actually get a little bit lower here. Alright, I'm not looking. I'm not looking. You guys can look. Uh-oh. Hold up, let me do that again. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Okay, we filled it up. So yeah, that's where the fuel port is on the dune buggy. Oh my god. Oh man, that's slightly disturbing. Slightly disturbing, just a little bit. Just a little bit. So yeah, that's the dune buggy. Let's go ahead. Let's get a bunch of other vehicles out here. So what do we got? Summon. What would be a good one to actually fill up here? I think we should go. Oh, let's just list them out here. I can't think of them off the top of my head. Let's go ahead. Let's get maybe the dune buggy. No, dune buggy we've already done. Bumper car, go-kart, lawnmower. Let's get the lawnmower. I think that would be a good one to do. So here is the lawnmower, and let's find the fuel port. Now, it is kind of easy to find it because you'll see that it is actually a little bit brighter than the vehicle. So as you can see here, we have the fuel port. Let's look at it right now. And then we're going to fill it up here, let go, and it's going to close the lid. Now, obviously, if you right-click anywhere else on the vehicle, you're not actually going to be able to fuel it up. So you have to be actually looking at the fuel port there for it to fill up. So that is the brand new way to fill up all the vehicles. I actually want to go over here real quick. Let's go into game mode C, and let's go to the boats over here because we actually have a fuel port on these as well. So the jet ski, which we're going to move actually, but right now it is kind of under the handlebars. It's a little bit hard to get to it, but on the speedboat over here, we actually have the fuel port over this side. Now, I did discover a small little bug, but we'll be able to get it fixed up. But as you can see, we have the fuel port here. We look at it, we can fill that thing up, and you can take that thing for a spin now. So how awesome is this brand new way to refuel it? And it's all thanks to a very generous person in the community called Phylogeny. So again, his Twitter's in the description below. Go send him a tweet, go thank him. Go give him some love because he's done some really amazing things to help improve my vehicle mod. Alrighty, so that is basically the brand new way to refuel vehicles. What we're going to do now is get a little bit more technical, and I still suggest everybody continue on here because once you get this mod in survival mode, you're definitely going to want to know how to actually create fuel. And what I'm going to do right now is show you the kind of partial process on how to create it. It's not entirely finished. So let's go over, we're just going to start by creating the fuel, and then we're going to check out what is going on over at Cray Gas. So I think the best place to maybe showcase this off is inside of the car park. I'm kind of missing a bunch of vehicles from here. So let's start this off right now. So what we're going to need to get is a fluid extractor. So you can find this in the vehicle mod inventory. There isn't any crafting recipes yet, mainly because, you know, I haven't really officially supported survival mode yet, so I haven't really added in crafting recipes. We're going to need some fluid pipes. We're going to need a fluid pump. And then we're also going to grab out a fuel drum. So these are two new blocks as well. So we have a fuel drum, and then we also have an industrial fuel drum. And it's kind of obvious what the difference between these are. So this one will hold more fuel than the regular fuel drum, but we're going to grab both of those out right now. So let's place this down. So this is the fluid extractor. So the first step to creating fuel is extracting kind of a fluid from some specific items, and those items are blaze rods and ender pearls. So what we're going to do is right click this, and it's going to bring up an inventory. So we need to extract the fluid from some certain items. So let's go ahead, let's grab out Let's go to miscellaneous here. Let's grab out some ender pearls, and we're also going to grab out some blaze rods. So we're actually going to do 2 of these right now, so we can actually do them both at the same time. We're going to go into the fluid extractor, put the ender pearl in the middle here. Now, I really did want to make this really simple for you guys so you don't get confused. So this is basically just a furnace. So we have the item here. This would be like the ore. This here is going to be where we're going to put some coal. So let's grab out some coal here, and let's pop that into there. And you'll see straight away it's starting to extract the fluid from the ender pearl here, and it's going to give us some ender sap. While that's cooking away, let's go ahead, let's pop the blaze rod over here. Let's put the coal into there. It's going to start extracting the fluids from the blaze rod, and that is going to give us blaze juice. So if we come back here, maybe this is almost complete. It's almost there. It is almost there. We should see we now have ender sap inside of the tank. And if we actually take a look around at the back here, have a look at this. We can see the ender sap actually starting to fill up the tank in the fluid extractor here. So you don't actually have to open up the GUI. You can actually look at the back here if you want to see how much fluid you've got inside. So the idea is you want to create a lot of this fluid, and basically once you start creating a lot of it, you're going to want to store it somehow. And because obviously this is not a permanent storage, this only holds up to 5 buckets of fuel. You're going to want to put it into something that can hold a lot more, and this is why I created fuel drums. So this one here will hold, I think it holds up to 40 buckets of fuel, and then the industrial will hold up to 75 buckets. So they're a much better permanent storage for these fluids here. So let's go ahead, we're going to place the fuel drum for there, and then the industrial one for that. So how do we actually get the fluids from the fluid extractors into these tanks? Well, you've probably noticed it just a second ago. We have fluid pumps, and then we also have fluid pipes. So all we simply have to do is place a fluid pump on the outside of the fluid extractor here. So we're actually going to shift and right click. We'll put them on both here, and then all we simply do is get a pipe here and put it into the fuel drums here. So we're just going to go ahead, right click there, and then right click there, and you'll notice that we have these pipes here now connecting to these fuel drums. Now, it's not going to extract the fuel straight away. We've actually got to power these. Now, there is different modes, and I will show you guys in a second here, but the default mode is you actually have to power these pumps here to get the fluid out of the fluid extractor and then put it into one of these fuel drums. So let's place a lever on top of these fluid pumps, and then let's flick these on, and you'll notice as well the level of fluid inside there get lower, and as you can see, it's actually gone now. So it's actually sucked it up, and that's a good sign. Let's flick this one on too. The ender sap has now disappeared, and if you come over to these fluid drums here, they are now actually inside, and you can tell because if we actually go ahead and we sneak here, or we hold shift or go into crouch mode, you'll see, okay, it looks like it's a little bit glitched in shaders. I did actually test this out in normal Minecraft, so I wasn't really sure what it would look like, but it does give you information about what's actually inside of the tank here. So as you can see, we have ender sap inside of it, and by looking at this kind of progress bar, hopefully you guys can see it, we have a little bit of it inside. It's kind of unfortunate with shaders, it doesn't really like rendering this type of stuff that well, but I am going to look into fixing that up in the future. So don't you guys worry, I will actually come up with a fix so you can use this with shaders. So this is kind of part 1 of creating fuel. I actually still have to create a process to create what is known as fuelium, but let's take a look at these actual fuels, because if we go into the creative tab here, you might have noticed we can actually get access to these buckets here. So this is the blaze juice, we have the ender sap, and then we've also got a fuelium bucket. So that's ultimately what you're going to be able to create in the end. However, right now it's not entirely possible to do it. So let's go ahead and let's find a place where we can actually put these down, and I'll show you guys how cool this does actually look. Maybe we could do it right here. I don't think it's going to spread out a lot. So let's place down the, oh wow. So that is blaze juice, my dudes. It is a yellow liquid inside of Minecraft. It felt really weird looking at a different type of liquid besides water and lava. That thing, you gotta be careful with that. We have ender sap. That's looking really cool as well. I don't know why that went so fast, but that's kind of weird. And then finally, we have Fuelium. Have a look at that. So that is Fuelium as a liquid form. Ender sap again. And then again, the blaze juice. So I decided to opt for a non-realistic way to create fuel, as I feel like it fits the theme of my mod the best, and it also is original as well. There is another vehicle mod out there that actually creates a realistic process. However, I don't want to be the same. I want to do my own thing. It also fits that kind of feel of my vehicle mod too. So that's why this is the way you're going to be able to create fuels in my mod. And again, you know, this is not the entire process. What is going to be happening next, which I can't really show you guys right now, is that you actually need to use these fuels and put them into another machine, which is going to actually mix them together with another ingredient to create Fuelium. And then Fuelium is what you actually put inside of your vehicles to power them. So a minute ago, I mentioned there are some things you can change around with the fluid pump. So basically right now, we need levers here to actually suck out the fluid from the, or pump out the fluid from the fluid extractor. However, you do not need to do that. What we can actually do is change around the mode of the fluid pump. So you're going to need to grab out the wrench, so you can find that in the creative tab here. This is not final. I am actually going to be creating a 3D model for this. This is just temporary. But if we go ahead and we right click this kind of gray area of the pump, it's going to change the mode. So the power mode now says requires signal off. So if this thing is powered, it's actually going to mean that it's not going to suck fluid out. And then if we turn it off here, it means it is going to suck it out. So if we go over here and let's go ahead, let's power this first. Let's change the mode here. Oops. Okay. All right, looks like we got some in there. So currently it's powered. The mode requires the signal to be off. If we go ahead and turn this into an off state, it's actually going to suck the fluid out. So as you can see, it sucked it out of there and it's put it into the tank here. Now, there's another mode as well. So the final mode is, if we right click this here now, it's going to put it into always active mode. And regardless if it's got power or not, it's going to always pump the fluid out of the fluid extractor here. And we'll do it for that one as well. So if it's in always active, it will always pump the fluid out. Something else you can do with the wrench as well is also disable connections. So if you don't want this pump here connecting to that pipe, you can actually disable it, so we can get rid of those pipes there. And if you want to bring it back, just right click like that and it will bring the pipe back. Just a little bit of an advanced feature for the advanced users out there. So it does actually, let's see, does that work? Yeah, it does. So as you can see, we actually disabled that. We connected it back up and actually pumped out the fluid from there into the pipe, which is really cool. So that's basically the partial process of creating fuel. What we're going to do now is actually head over to Craygas, because they got something exciting happening over there. And we've also got a new block as well that you guys have not seen yet. So let's head over there right now and let's check it out. So here we are at Craygas, and it's finally turning into a proper gas station. Have a look at this, my dudes. We have the official Cray Industry gas pumps. Now, these are still a little bit of a work in progress. Right now, they're kind of just decoration. However, in the future, you will be using these to pump out fuel into your vehicles. But they just look really cool here at Craygas right now. And a little bit of an icon down at the bottom there. That might be changing as well. But yeah, in a future video, I'll be showing these off and how they work. But for right now, they're just decoration and they do look really cool. But if we come into here and we actually go, hey, how you doing, Alvin? I'm just going out the back. I'm just going to show them how the fuel is being created here at Craygas. We basically have what we showed off just before, but on a larger scale. I wouldn't say it's a larger. There's like It's only 2 more fluid extractors, you know, not really that much, but this thing here will be able to create a lot over time. So as you can see, we got fluid extractors here, and what we're going to do is actually set this up so it starts extracting the fluid, and we'll start putting it into tanks below the actual surface here. And if we actually go in here, have a look at this. We have a ton of tanks here ready for storage. Industrial ones, I'm pretty sure they are. Yep, so they definitely hold a lot of fluid in it. We've also got some fuelium here already ready to go, but I'm gonna go ahead back up here, and let's go ahead, let's actually start filling these chests up with some items. So I've actually made it quite easy. We're gonna go ahead, get rid of these chests here, and you'll see in these chests we actually have coal, we have the blaze rods, and then we also have the ender pearls. So we're gonna go ahead and copy these using NBT. So this one is the coal one. Let's go ahead, let's place this on the back like that on all of these. So we should start seeing in the fluid extractor here, the coal is now filling up. So that is going to last forever basically. Let's go ahead, what's this one? This one's got the blaze rods in it. So we're gonna make this one and this one the blaze rods, and then this one here and this one over here is gonna be the ender pearls. And we should see, have a look at this. So the ender pearls are going into the system. That's exactly what I wanted. And they are now generating the fluids. So once we have that going, we actually have a lever over here, because straight away we're actually not going to pump out the fluids into the tanks that we just showed off below. We're actually going to keep it at the top here. So in a second here, we're going to flick this lever, and then it's actually going to start sending the fluid down below. And as you can see, blaze juice is already being extracted from the blaze rods. Let's have a look over here. We should have the ender sap as well is slowly going up. So we might give this like 5 minutes here, and I'll come back to you guys and we'll see how much fluid we have in these fluid extractors. Alrighty, so it's been much longer than 5 minutes, and let's have a look how much fluid has been extracted. Oh my god. It is completely full. It is completely full. How about the blaze juice? Ah, okay, so this one doesn't look like it is extracted completely, mainly because blaze rod doesn't give out as much juice as the ender pearls do. But I think it's time to extract this fluid and send it down into the tanks below here. So we should have blaze juice ending up in these first 4, and then in these other ones we should have the ender sap. So let's go ahead, let's flick this lever here, and it should start sending the liquid down. Oh, yep, definitely is. Let's have a look at the ender sap. Oh, that's going down. Oh, is that going down? I don't know if that's going down or not. It did go down like a little bit, but it's kind of stopped now. Let's have a look. Alright, let's change this to always active. Maybe that will help. Oh, yeah, it's definitely going down now. I'm not sure what was going on there. I think there was something to do with redstone causing the pipes not to work. But it should work now, and it looks like, yeah, it's definitely sucking out all the fuel now. It's definitely sucking out all the fuel. And if we come down here, we should start to see the fuel go into here. Okay, this might be an issue here. Alright, so I fixed the problem by replacing just the kind of pipe there before the pump with a fuel drum, and now the actual pump is actually extracting or pumping out the fuel from there and distributing it evenly to all the fuel drums here. And as you can see, it has barely touched the fuel drums here, so it definitely needs a lot more liquid to fill these up, and that's why these are kind of for, you know, more permanent storage of fluids. So, you know, by the time we get to the next episode, this thing definitely, you know, will be filled up, and those tanks down there will be filled completely with blaze juice and also the ender sap. And hopefully by next week as well, we will be able to fill up vehicles using the fuel pumps instead of having to use jerry cans. Obviously, you can still use jerry cans, but it's going to be a better and faster option to actually use the gas pumps instead. But that pretty much wraps up this video today, my dudes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Vehicle Wednesday today. This update is now available, so go download it, give it a try. Obviously, survival is still not implemented 100% yet, but by next update, I should add in some crafting recipes so you can get a head start to the fuel system. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys remember to go ahead and snap that like button. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead, snap that like button, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications so you never miss out on a Vehicle Wednesday. But I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, my dudes.